Welcome back. It's 17 minutes to 3 o'clock. Now, the COVID-19 pandemic has seen more interest in Zoom towns. According to property group Seeff, towns such as Stellenbosch and Paarl in the Western Cape have attracted buyers from across the country. But what exactly are Zoom towns, and how big is this trend in South Africa? Apparently in the US it's big. Well, let's discuss this now with property economist Rode and Associates. Erwin Rode is joining us now on the Midday View. Erwin, good afternoon. First up, what is a Zoom town?
Well, it's, of course, as you could have deduced, it's a new term, and it's quite clear that what it means. It means that it's towns from which you can still do your work using Zoom or any of the other platforms. It's opened up huge opportunities, of course.
Yes, yes. Now, how big is it in South Africa? Because the article I read the other day said that in America, apparently, it's big. What are you seeing? What is the trend of Zoom towns in South Africa?
Yeah. Of course, the caveat is that we've got no hard data on it, so we've got speculation. And of course, the more you repeat speculation, the truer it becomes. In the States, as you correctly said, it's especially in some towns like San Francisco, some cities like San Francisco and Los Angeles and so on, the house prices become so expensive because of the very low interest rates there that people can't afford anymore to stay in those towns, so they tend to move out to the outskirts or to nearby towns, smaller towns, where prices are more reasonable. And yes, what we are speculating in South Africa, that, and this is what estate agents are claiming, is that in South Africa we've got a similar trend here, that especially the Boland towns are becoming very popular, with semi-graters, people who from all corners of South Africa migrate to Cape Town or the South Cape. They could be one of two species. It could be those who are retiring. Of course, that makes a lot of sense if you're retiring to be close to the sea, provided you've got some friends down here. I'm speaking from Cape Town, by the way. Yeah, and the second option, of course, is people who are actually scared of violence, and in their heads, the Cape Town and the South Cape have less crime. Whether that is true, well,
something else. Yeah, just to be simple, then for a second, a Zoom town basically will be those small towns to where people are semi-migrating, as you said, the semi-graters, and they've got access to the internet so they can work from home.
Absolutely, absolutely. Access is critical, and I would say in today's world, fibre access is crucial. It's difficult to work without fibre, comparatively speaking. Yeah, I would like to say it's not only people from up north who are migrating to Cape Town, it's also, or to these Zoom towns then, it's also Cape Townians, where house prices have become so expensive that there's an incentive to move to, say, Mauritius, or well, Stellenbosch is more expensive even, or as expensive as Cape Town itself. So Stellenbosch is not price-wise attractive. It's very attractive because of the, how shall I put it, the
scenery.
The setting, the scenery and the setting, and the snobbishness and things like that.
So people are moving further away from those big ones, where property is expensive, going to the smaller ones in the Boland and other parts. I mean, which towns there would you come to mind to you now as you're talking to us to say, yeah, this is the places where we see more and more people going to, either from elsewhere in South Africa or from nearby like Stellenbosch and Cape Town?
Yeah, well, the obvious ones are Paarl and Malmesbury. Stellenbosch, of course, is also one bit, but that's there. The motive is not price, because Stellenbosch prices are sky high. Yeah, and even some people would go even further, like Worcester or to Caledon and places like that. But this is speculation. We don't have hard data on it.
Okay, no, thank you very much for your time. Interesting, this phenomenon. The pandemic is bringing a new phenomenon, and people are looking for bargains and stuff, and the way we live now can work from home. That was property economist and valuer Erwin Rode talking to us about the rise of this new trend of so-called Zoom towns, the smaller towns outside big cities. Big cities, property is too expensive. People are migrating or semi-migrating within the country, different parts of the country, including nearby towns, to smaller towns where there is access, of course, to the internet, where there's fiber. An interesting development, the new trend, Zoom towns.